Hello and welcome to I24 News World Cup show, covering all the events from Brazil, and finally it's semi-final time. 4 teams play tonight and tomorrow. 2 of them will play in the final on Sunday night at the Maracanã. With me here are football analysts Uriel Dascal and Yoav Borovic. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, Jonathan.
Can Brazil get around without Neymar? Is Germany strong enough to beat the home team and the home crowd? And will FIFA now review any strong foul? All that and more coming up. Let's get started. 4 teams are still left standing. Tomorrow in Sao Paulo, the Netherlands will take on Argentina, and tonight a clash between another 2 football giants who will go head-to-head. Brazil versus Germany. Merav Savir gets us ready for this great semi-final in Belo Horizonte.
Brazil may be edging closer towards their dream of lifting the World Cup trophy on home soil, but they'll need to do so without 2 of their best players. Captain Thiago Silva is suspended for Tuesday's semi-final against Germany after picking up a second booking in last week's win against Colombia. And even worse, star striker Neymar is out of the rest of the tournament with a fractured vertebrae. Criticised early on for their nervous and over-emotional performances, the side and the fans find themselves up against yet another psychological hurdle.
Emocionalmente falando, é lógico que o grupo sentiu.
Of course, it's had an emotional impact on us. We've not only lost a fellow footballer, but also a teammate, an incredible person who always brings the group a lot of joy. He's always smiling and positive no matter what happens. Our team has lost more than just a footballer.
With or without Neymar, the Seleção insists they're ready to take on Germany. Joachim Löw's side have reached a 4th consecutive World Cup semi-final and are looking to avenge defeat at the hands of Brazil in the 2002 final. After a laborious last 16 win over Algeria, the Mannschaft upped their game in the quarter-finals against France, and players hope their trademark discipline and winning mentality will help them avoid a 3rd consecutive last 4 defeat.
Natürlich hat das Spiel einen sehr hohen Stellenwert.
Of course, it's a very important match, and playing against the host side is not only a great honor, but also a great challenge. It would have been even better to meet them in the final.
But of course, only one side can go through to face either Argentina or the Netherlands in the final, Germany chasing a 4th title, Brazil chasing a 6th.
So you have Brazil had a very set structure of play, but they never faced Germany and they never played without Neymar in this World Cup. What can Scolari do different? What can he do different?
I think he needs to ask his players to play in the same way, because they have been playing quite well, especially in the beginning of games. They attacked, they scored. The problem is what happens after, because then they go back a bit, they play more dirty style. And as you said, Germany is the best competition they faced so far, including Colombia, including all the other teams. But I still think that Brazil's force is not to play the defensive game, but the offensive game. I think they have the crowd behind them. I think they should come and try to shock the Germans off their feet in the beginning. And it's going to be tough because it's Germany and it's Manuel Neuer.
And I think when you look at Brazil without Neymar, you look at a team without their main creator. He has created at least 25% of their chances. He has scored 4 goals. He assisted. I mean, he's the danger man. He actually, against Colombia, went down to made Brazil flow a bit more than usual. And without him, I think they will have a real problem creating against the Germans.
And now the people who have to take them forward. First, David Luiz, he's going to be the captain. Thiago Silva is out. He also has to be the leader on the field. He can do that. We saw that goal against Colombia. And then Fred and Hulk, they finally have to step up as the strikers. They're the men to go.
Yeah, I think David Luiz will try to push forward, but it will leave Brazil exposed. And you will have, and when you're exposed against Germany, you will concede. And I don't know about Hulk and Fred. I mean, I think they can't create together. I mean, I didn't see them play 1-2 together.
Yeah, I think Neymar is definitely the main creator, but you can create by individual play and you can create by team play. And if their team play will be good enough, players like Hulk, like Fred, those players can score, getting the opportunities.
But they're not real team players. I mean, Hulk is pretty predictable.
They may be good as strikers, not as the ones who create the chances.
Hulk is a top player. Hulk is a very, very good player, and he can also score against Germany. And even Fred, who became a joke in this World Cup, still, is a guy who scores a lot of goals in Brazil.
At least he removed his mustache.
Yeah, he
it was about time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, the absence of Neymar and the pressure on the home team are obviously the biggest stories in world media coming into this match. Here are some of the headlines in Mirav Savir's press review.
Germany versus Brazil. The two teams have only met once in World Cup history, the 2002 final. But this year, everything is different. Circumstances are different. Brazil will be missing two of its biggest stars. And on Goal.com, Neymar le Seleção seeking new hero. They say the hosts need a new source of inspiration if they're to make the final. And quote Brazilian media saying that 22-year-old Neymar could feature if Brazil make the final, but it's still very, very unlikely. As of right now, we still don't know who Scolari will replace Neymar with. As for the Germans, if you listen to Lukas Podolski, they're not even nervous. In the Telegraph, they quote the Germans saying, "We are on a good run, and it is not important how you play, how many skills you do before the goal. It is only important to end the game with a victory." And he said all the pressure is on the home team. Someone else who will be under pressure, the referee. In The Guardian, the referee who missed the Luis Suarez bite gets Brazil versus Germany. FIFA announced on their website that Marco Rodriguez from Mexico was chosen for this game. He has handled 2 World Cup matches, the biting incident, and Belgium's 2-1 win over Algeria. And according to The Guardian, it is the first time he will be refereeing a game in the knockout stages. And in Deutsche Welles, they have the 10 things you need to know about this match. The first one, Brazil and Germany have met 22 times overall, the Seleção winning 12 of them, and the Germans only 4. The fact that many stars from Brazilian stars have connections to Bayern Munich, and with the two coaches, it's sure to be a tactical battle on the pitch. Regardless of the 10 facts they give, the refs on the field, or who will be the star that emerges for Brazil, it will be a battle. And by late tonight, we'll know who will face either the Netherlands or Argentina.
So, Uriel, if Brazil so far had to deal with one big striker, being Alexis for Chile, James for Colombia, now it's Hummels, it's Schürrle, it's Müller, of course, you don't know where the German danger is going to come from.
Yeah, I think their flexibility and their ability to move between positions and completely, move the opposition's defense is their main force. I mean, they could have beaten France 3-4-0, I think. I mean, France weren't even close to a goal, maybe the last chance, and then you had Neuer there. And I think Brazil will face an uphill battle against a team that is flexible. They're speedy, they're fast, and they're powerful.
And they're very good on defense and on goal.
But we cannot forget that most of Germany's game in this World Cup, they did not impress so much because also they're not getting goals of a lot of players. And I think another maybe mistake that Jogi Löw did in most of the games is not starting Schürrle. I think Schürrle is one of their top players. I think he should start tonight. I think Klose didn't play well against France. We don't know. Klose is a legendary scorer, but we don't know what he will give you. And they have Müller, they have Schürrle. I think even without Neymar, when I look at overall talent, I'm not sure that Brazil has less talent than Germany.
I think Germany has a more talented squad. You see, I mean, I don't see any player in Brazil getting close to Kroos. I mean, without Neymar.
Yeah, but also Kroos is not playing great in this World Cup.
Yeah, but they're not playing great, but they're winning, which is very important in this World Cup. And finally, when you look at the German squad and you look at their overall quality, they were able to go back to the roots and play the German way and be very efficient.
As we have seen against France. Another factor which may come to play tonight is pressure. We saw Germany crumble on that pressure back in 2006. This is a stage where they lost. Brazil now has the hopes of the entire nation. Are they up to it?
Pressure, the immense pressure on both teams. Germany did not win a big competition for 18 years. They lost few big games in semifinals.
They had
both in the World Cup and the Euros.
A semifinal barrier. They went out in this stage 3 out of the last 4 tournaments.
But they also have players who won the Champions League, and you have players who, like Dortmund players, which won the Bundesliga, which seems pretty incredible.
Champions League finalists. We should hand it to them.
But I think tonight's game, the pressure is something that no other player ever faced. It's like bigger than your biggest games in the club football.
It's same, even more in Brazil.
As you say, Bayern players, won Champions League, great pressure. But I think with Brazil also the crowd there, and I think the ambiance and the feeling, I think it gives Brazil the edge. It doesn't make them clear favorites, but I think they have a tiny edge. I don't know. It's going to be a very fascinating game because they're both very strong teams.
I think patriotism, it doesn't win you games. Professionalism wins you games.
Right.
And you see that.
But you have the home field. But there is a home field factor in professional sports.
Well, Germany
there is a factor.
Germany in 2006 and it didn't work.
Exactly.
Obviously,
it doesn't work all the time, but it works more than 50%.
1998, it worked for France.
Not always. So we have someone here who thinks Brazil's going to win, someone who thinks Germany is going to win.
We'll meet again.
Yeah. And so far, so as we have said, Brazil has so far had to face one big striker. This time they'll face other big strikers. Another man who will be in the center of attention is the referee. Mexico's Marco Rodriguez is the man who didn't see Luis Suarez biting Giorgio Chiellini. That incident started a trend of calling on FIFA to investigate incidents the referees may have missed. Should we welcome this, or is this a move against the game as we know and love it? Mirav Savir tries to answer.
The FIFA Disciplinary Committee has decided that the player Luis Suarez is regarded as having breached Article 48, paragraph 1 of the FIFA Disciplinary Court and Article 50.
It seems as if every other headline we see is FIFA will investigate one or another sort of behavior. In this World Cup, it started with Luis Suarez biting Giorgio Chiellini, resulting in a 9-game, 4-month suspension from all football-related activities. And it's been a slippery slope since then. Arjen Robben's alleged dive versus Mexico in the last 16 awakened the critics and the fans, some calling for FIFA to intervene. Even Costa Rican coach Jorge Luis Pinto said the referees should watch Robben closely during the match.
He is a model for the world of football. The characteristics he has as a player are indisputable. But we also have to recognize that he has made major mistakes, and this shouldn't be. What worries us the most are Robben's dives. He has accepted it. He has recognized it, and I hope the referee and the linesmen at this match won't fall for that.
The latest calls are against Colombia's Juan Camilo Zuniga, who need Brazilian star Neymar in the back at the end of Friday's match, leaving the striker with a fractured vertebrae and a one-way helicopter ticket home. And fans once again called on FIFA to act.
I think that man should have been punished for what he did. The other one just bit someone, which was a lot less aggressive and was punished. And this guy went there to break the player's back.
FIFA spokeswoman said the disciplinary committee is analyzing the footage to see if any action should be taken. But on the other hand, there are fans who are complaining that referees are letting the stars get away with too much. For example, Argentinian star Leo Messi. Belgian coach Marc Wilmots claimed the refs gave Messi special treatment during his team's 1-0 loss to Argentina. And the same with Brazil on Friday. The Seleção committed 31 fouls against Colombia, many of which targeted James Rodriguez, leaving fans angry that nothing was done except for one yellow card against Thiago Silva. And the calls for FIFA to investigate and act may continue. In this World Cup, are we witnessing the world of football become oversensitive to what was once considered part of the game?
Uriel, are we heading into a place where, every call that you don't like by the referee will go to FIFA and say investigate? Is this a place where we're going?
I don't think so. I think, well, first of all, always blame FIFA. It's nice. But I think FIFA needs to take a stand. I mean, like the NBA took a stand against flopping, and every time a player flops, he gets fined. Maybe it doesn't affect the game itself, but he will get fined. I think that's what you need to do here.
The stand that the FIFA needs to take is to integrate the cameras into officiating. We must do it. We do it in all professional sports. There's no other sport that gets so many calls wrong,
do it with goal
like
line
football,
technology.
like soccer. They get so many calls wrong. You need to go to the camera. It's impossible. It's a huge pitch. One man cannot oversee everything with 2 assistants, and you know those things needs to be officiated.
But the question is, if I think the referee should have given for a foul a red card and not a yellow card as he did, should I go to FIFA and say, well, do something about it?
That's a decision on the pitch. Yeah. Nothing can be done after that with the yellow-red.
Because the Brazilians saying sanction Suniga. He came in with the knee to Neymar's back. Should they?
I think Fernandinho has hurt James Rodriguez's ankle a few times as well. So you can't really do that.
If the referee saw the case and decided on a yellow, it might have been a huge mistake. But you cannot go after that. After he gave a yellow and Zuniga,
two challenges,
a bigger punishment. It's pathetic because it opens the door for so many.
That is obviously a case we will see going on. It happens all the time.
If the referee doesn't see it, so it's another case. But if he saw it and gave a yellow, it's his mistake, you finish with it.
Yoav Borovic, Uriel Dascal, always a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's it for us today. We'll be here again tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day.